Hi students, today I am going to discuss the concept of the intrusion detection system. So IDS system claim to detect adversary when they are in the act of attack. So that means either it is a disease or any insecure attack which is in the transmission of data. So here this concept is majorly explained in both ways. So that means for the network security, so and also it is one of the medical diagnosis also. So we can detect this particular using by this system to detect some of the diseases which is infected into the body. So that means some anomalies are detected. So that means here the IDS system may identify the two kinds of detection technologies. So one is anomaly detections and misuse detections. So these are the two detection systems. This is one of the system. So which can claim to detect adversary when they are in the act of attack. So that means here the monitor operations and trigger mitigation technique on detection and monitor network, host or applications, any events. So that means the ideas can be taken in this way to find to take one of the tool that discovers intrusions after the fact or called so forensic analysis tools. Because a tool is discovered intrusions are nothing but he is nothing but an opponent. So a intruder is a invalid party who enters into the critical region, into the actual region, in the security region. So because the people are the people are valid people, those who are in the inside of the organization, but the intruder is an outside organization, so he may try to enter into that particular region. So that means even disease also, some of the disease and outside the body. So when the conditions may be the taken in the different, the disease may try to come to the inside. So that means inside body some protections are there, some security controls are there. Here the system, any organization may also use some of the protection system to keep that particular information inside securely, so from the attack of the outside the hacker. So that's why the IDS, intrusion detection system, really refer to the two kinds of detection. So one is an anomaly detection and a misuse detection. Now we go for the detailed discussion of this particular. So this particular intrusion detection system have some of the queries. So related to the queries, we have to take some of the answers related to the queries. Even in sometimes here also identified some of the software engineering concept, whether this particular identification of the problem may be solved by using the white box testing or the black box testing. That's here we can consider the black box analysis or the white box analysis. So why this particular it is an expert system, because why this particular intrusion detection system may be improved, because it is an expert system to take the solution of that particular problem with the domain knowledge. So whatever the area specific, that's why here we go for the medical identification. So there are different branches, different departments are there, different categories are there based on their profile. So ENT is one of the swing. So ophthalmology is one of the swing. So orthopedic is one of the swing. Neurology is one of the swing. So cardiology is one of the swing. So different area can be having the different expert system. So when we find the intrusion, how the intrusion, where the intrusion can exactly identify the entered into that particular body. So that may be find sometimes we did not find what exactly the disease inside the body. In the similar, what the organization information can be affected, what exactly the reason, that is how we can find this exactly with the help of the anomaly detection and misuse detection. Now coming to this particular system in detail, now you can observe intruder detection in a network. So on a switch, router, gateway, endpoint would be the host IDS. That means Intruder detection system may be connected between the switches, between the routers and between the gateways and between the endpoints of the host. That means this category may be taken the connectivity. So maybe whenever the connection may be the weak, so then the intrusion systems may be the entered. So that is one of the possible. So why do networks intrusion detection system? So because of it is a single point of mediation. So the next one, the systems protections are harder to update. So because why we can choose the IDS system in the network, because of in a normal network system, it is a single point of mediation is there. So the next one is the systems protections are harder to update. So every time we can manually we can observe the system and we can observe the security controls. If any security controls are not updated, then we can update it manually. But that is not in the IDS. IDS intrusion detection system. Once the intrusion is find out immediately, the system can be updated to protect that particular to protect the data inside the data from the attackers of the outside. So and also it may be the inspect each and every packet from the inside or the outside the data. So when the packet is come from the outside, that means we know that the packet can be identified in the network. So the network the data can be configured in the packet. So the packet data should be taken to transmit the data to the destination. So here also the inside attacks are also taken to find by this particular IDS. So the first one is the connections between the switches or the routers or the gateways. So which may be the perfect to handle the data, to keep the data securely because of the end-to-end communication, and also which can be taken some of the packet verification. So whether attacks are made by the opponent, so whether that particular packet is safe or not, everything is handled by this particular intrusion detection system. So and also why do the network IDS can be taken place? So automatically updated of the protection system can be taken place. Now you may be observed the one of the problem we have to be considered in this particular IDS is, so here event stream is there. One of the concept of this IDS is the event stream. What the event stream is nothing but, so wherever we can start the identification of the problem, first we need to understand that particular problem, and again we have to elaborately identify this particular problem in the different manner and send that particular information in the form of the profile. So that means this is a research part of the study. In the study, in the sense, what type of virus we can find, what type of vulnerability we can find, what about the drawbacks in that particular, everything we can collect that information, have to be write something and read something, the concept from the different resources and prepare something in the put it into the file. So that file becomes to the IDS file. Now you can observe some of the organization can exhibit this particular identification of the problems. Sometimes it may be the positive and sometimes it may be the true. So this can be categorized in the quality determinations of this particular two factors, normal and abnormal. So in these two cases can be defined the true and positive, true and false, whether it is a positive or the negative. That's why it is categorized into the four parts: the true positive and the false negative. If it is false positive and if it is a true negative. So the vice versa, they can be considered to the opposite manner. So the IDS can be identified all the attacks which are made from the opponents. So often less effective at detecting the attacks in a different manner. So reading and writing, forwarding data, and depends on the disk operating system, that is the DOS, and we have to observe different identification. Now we can focus on who is an attacker. So because of attacker is nothing but always he keep on that one particular point for waiting the transmission of the data. So whenever it can be traffic flow data automatically, so it can be captured or identified in the middle of the communication. So it identifies some of the arguments value and the order of messages and the protocols. It can be taken in the different manner. Now you have to be observed assumptions. A very good anomaly detector can be taken the 99%, because a very good anomaly detector is nothing but, so the expert can do that only the factor. Here also IDS can do that particular system to protect that particular data from the intruder. So that is a point here we can observe. Some of the equation, because of sometimes it may be the taken in the probability way. So why it can be taken in the probability way? Even chances are sometimes if it is an order. So if the diagnosis, if the one of the disease is affected by affected to the patient critical condition is heavy, no. So at that time the doctor give the 50-50 chances. That is a probability. Here also the IDS system can takes the problem at the peak level. At that time the stage of that particular attacker taken the data, the vulnerable data, that may be the chances to recover 50-50. So sometimes it may be recovered and sometimes it may not be recovered. That's why we can use in the probability way. And finally, the probabilistic way, we know that if the chances are taken in the one system and the chances are the less, that's why the probability of B of A equals to probability of A of B into probability of B by probability of A. So we have to choose this particular equation, and finally we can derive some of the accurate value. So based on this particular intrusion detection system, so it keeps the information securely. To protect that information securely inside, if the attacker or the intruder may takes place inside the place, so every system may be observed the monitoring of the particular attacker, so how they can affect it to the system, how they can corrupted the data. So every time it can be recovered automatically. So whenever the IDS is active in the system. So this is the concept of the IDS. Thank you.